Can you hear us?
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
Let me
Hello.
make sure I can hear you guys okay.
Can you hear? Is it
Yep,
good? Okay, wonderful. Nice to meet
all
you.
is good. So nice to meet you too. You guys can hear me okay?
Yes. So we've got about 17 students in here.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys for letting me interrupt your class for a few minutes. I appreciate the time and the attention. And the main reason that I'm here is I just really want to make sure you guys know about the Year Up Career Connect program. And I'll briefly just tell you a little bit about the Career Center and how to find us, because Year Up is just one of many offerings and many services that we provide students. And the Career Center is actually available for alumni too. So even once you're done with your time at West, you can come back. But the Year Up Career Connect program is very time sensitive. It's a program that is actively recruiting students right now. And it's in partnership with West LA College's Career Center. So Year Up, if you haven't heard of that program before, is a nationwide program that supports students in their professional development. So essentially, how do you launch yourself from your studies in a classroom and what you're learning in college to your actual career? And how do you make yourself stand out when you're applying for internships and jobs with potential employers? And so basically what Year Up did was they listened to what the employers had to say as to what they wanted potential candidates to have and what their concerns were in terms of like what they felt like students really needed. And then Year Up created this 6-week curriculum around that. So you'll have an opportunity to be learning the exact skills that employers are saying, hey, this is what we really want your students to know and have. This is what's going to really help them set themselves apart when they're trying to present their professional self. So Year Up, again, it's a nationwide program. So they do this with colleges and universities all over the country. But actually, our college was the first and only one in California, and we started this last year.
That's great.
So yeah, so it's huge. And it went so well last year. We kind of looked at it like a pilot, and they did too. But it went so well that they immediately came back to us. And so they're really trying to hold like specific slots in this program for us. Meanwhile, they have opened it up to a couple of other colleges here in California. So the main thing I want you to know is that it's free. It's only 6 weeks. You're committing to about 2 to 4 hours of time each week, but it's all virtual and it's all around your schedule. So they basically cohort students together at different time slots. So there isn't just like one time where this is when the class is and you have to go then. There's actually multiple times throughout the week. And you pick the time that works best for you, and then that's your time for the 6 weeks. The virtual workshops will have a set time, and then they also have group career coaching. So where you'll be in a smaller group of students just getting more personalized career coaching. So if you think about like knowing who you are when you hang out with your friends and you talk to your friends, that's clear. If you think about who you are and how you present yourself when you're hanging out with your family, maybe that's clear. But who are you and how do you present yourself to a potential employer? That's sometimes a little less clear. So that's what they're going to really help you with. Um, the other thing to keep in mind is they do have information sessions, but only a couple left because the program is going to be starting soon, starts March 18th. So the information sessions that are remaining are this week on Wednesday at 11 a.m. on Zoom. And then there's another one on Thursday at 9 a.m. also on Zoom. And these are not, information sessions are just what they sound like. It's just to get more information. You're not committing to signing up yet. It's basically like an opportunity to hear a little bit more on top of what I'm sharing with you now. So let's say, we hang up, your class ends tonight, and then later tonight or tomorrow you have more questions. This is where you can get those answered as well, if that makes sense. So if you guys don't mind, can I share my screen and show you how you would do that? Like if
Yes.
anyone does, okay.
Yes.
And your professor also has this information in terms of where to sign up. So I can make sure, she can make sure you have that as well. I'm happy to, post it somewhere else if that would be helpful. Let's see, there we go.
Did
There
you
it is.
send me
Okay.
an email with all of that information?
I did, but I am happy to send it again. So it's like right up at the top.
That'd be great. Yeah. And then I can post it on Canvas. Oh, yeah. That looks familiar.
Yeah, that would be great. So here is the Europe site, but directly this is taking you to the partnership with us here at West. So that's why you see it says in partnership with West LA College. Here, as I scroll down, you'll just see a little bit of information about the program, very much what I've shared. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, really small under here under students, you'll see student frequently asked questions. So there could be some things maybe you're thinking of later and maybe the answers are already there. Okay. But what I want to show you is this complete interest form. You see that button there?
Yep.
So all you would do, and you could do it right now while you're in class, you could do it as soon as you get home. You can do it from your phone, but all you're doing is you're filling out your name, your birthday, your email address, your phone number, whether or not you agree to send or receive, excuse me, text messages from Europe, which would only be about, this program. And then of course, our college is where you are currently enrolled. Are you a current high school student in dual enrollment? For most of you, that's probably no. And then what you would do is here's the info session. So you'll notice all the ones that already passed. So ignore those older dates, just ignore them. Go all the way to the bottom. And you'll see here, March 6th is Wednesday and March 7th is Thursday. Now, do notice the time. Remember, I said Wednesday at 11 because that's Pacific Standard Time. That's where we are. Europe is based on the East Coast, so that's why they have East Coast time listed there first. Okay, so just try not to get confused about that. So again, Wednesday at 11 or Thursday at 9, and then that's it. You would hit continue. It would send submit to Year Up, and then they will send you a Zoom link for the information session. And that's really it.
Okay, great.
Do you guys have any questions about that?
Yeah, Jasmine, go ahead.
And that's how you like apply essentially to join the program. You do it like that?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they're calling it an interest form because that's how they're going to sign you up for their information session. And then once you go to their information session, then they will be able to officially sign you up, because not everybody that goes to an information session necessarily wants to sign up, or sometimes people want to, but then they realize it's just not the right semester for them. Maybe they're going to, apply in the fall instead or next spring. So they don't assume you're going to sign up, but at some point during that information session, they'll give you the instructions on the next steps.
Okay.
Okay, so you can't, you have to go to an information session in order to sign up for it. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so
Yes.
that's important to know. Yeah.
Very important. Yeah, that's why I don't want anyone to miss out on these. Now, the thing to keep in mind is, let's say you sign up for one of these information sessions and, you just drop the ball. I don't know, didn't set an alarm on your calendar or something, and so you just missed the time. If you did sign up, they will still follow up with you. And if for some reason you didn't hear from them, you could reach out directly to me here at West in the Career Center, and I'll help connect you to the right person. So they would still have your name and your contact information because you signed up, even though you didn't go. So does that make sense?
That's really good. Yeah.
So even if you think like, yeah, that time works for me, and then suddenly it doesn't, don't stress yourself out about it. But do follow up with us then, so we can make sure to connect you to the right people.
Okay, that's really great.
Yeah, we just don't want anyone to miss
opportunity.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I know. I wish I had this when I was a college student.
Yeah,
It's
me
just
too.
like 6 weeks of like wraparound support.
Yeah.
It's
so
really
wonderful.
incredible. And the other thing I want to highlight to all of you is that right here in the bottom, after you complete the program, you actually still have another 8 weeks of access to the online platform. So basically, any materials, any resources, any virtual workshops that they might have recorded, anything at all that you've gone through for those initial 6 weeks, you would still have access to that for another 8 weeks.
Okay, that sounds really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this optional service here, they do offer optional one-on-one career coaching as well.
That's
So
great.
yeah, it's pretty incredible. So that's the main thing I wanted to share with you. The way to find it again is just Year Up. I'm going to put it in the chat, yearup.org/WLAC.
Okay.
Okay. And then the way to find me, so let me show you on the West LA College site where you would find the Career Center. So if you haven't ever been to our office, we are in HLRC 112. And this is our website. If you're at the main homepage, you would just find us under Student Services. And the second column here shows the Career Center right under here. And then it just takes you right here. And we have Monday through Thursday, we have hours in person and on Zoom. And then Fridays, we have our virtual office on Zoom. So there's lots of different things we do. I'm not going to spend too much time going into all the different programs, but we offer lots of different supports around searching for an internship, searching for a job, figuring out just kind of who you are career-wise, like what are your interests, what are your values, what are you studying, and what are you kind of hoping to do with that? Where are you hoping to go? Which employers are you maybe interested in learning more about or connecting with? Oftentimes we have connections already with those employers, or if we don't, there might be faculty on campus that do that we can help connect you to. There might be opportunities for like informational interviews, which is essentially a way to talk to someone who's already in the field where you want to get to, but you're not there yet. Sometimes it's more of like a mock interviewing preparation that someone's looking for. Like you have an opportunity coming up and you just haven't interviewed ever or in a long time. So sometimes students come to us just to practice some interview questions. Maybe you have a resume, but you haven't updated it in a while. We can help with that. Or maybe you've never written a resume and you'd like our help writing one, or a CV. So there's lots of different things we do. What I do want to show you on the website here, though, is where you can find our workshops and events. So you can see there's a tab right here. It says attend workshops and events. These are all free for West LA College students and alumni. Or you can scroll all the way to the bottom and there's a calendar. So, whichever you prefer. If you're looking on the calendar, you're going to be kind of like clicking date by date, so you're sort of like, oh, okay, today's the 4th. Oh, I see that there's something going on Tuesday. What is that? And you can see it's a workshop called What is Career Advising and How Can It Benefit Me? And it's going to be on Zoom, and the Zoom link is there, right? Then you can see on Wednesday, we have what we call an employer information session. This one happens to be with the LA Rams.
Wow.
This will also be on Zoom. Yeah. And so we do these employer information sessions, several of them every semester, and they're always different employers. Occasionally we might have like a duplicate one semester to the next if it was really popular or something. But so this is just an opportunity to meet an employer and let them tell you a bit about what it's like to work there, a bit about their own career story, their own career journey. How did they get to be working for the LA Rams, for example? What kind of job opportunities or internship opportunities exist within their organization or their company? How would you apply? What kind of students are they looking for? And these are typically on Zoom.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, the calendar is there, or if we scroll back up to the top of the website, it was also found here. It's a slightly different format. This is going to be more of like a Word doc where you can scroll through like this. So it's like all the same events, all the same titles, but it's just broken down in a slightly different way. So if we scroll down to March 6th, yeah, there it is again. We
Oh,
should
look at
see
this
it.
financial literacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great
Yeah.
stuff.
Really great stuff. We have financial literacy workshops also multiple times a semester. And with those ones, actually, we usually do a raffle. So if you attend more than like 2 of them, we'll enter your name into a raffle and you can win usually like a $50 gift card or gas card or something like that.
That's cool.
So let me put my info in the chat and answer any last questions that anyone has.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
How did you get to that screen?
How did you get to the screen where you are right now?
Okay, great question. So let me go ahead and show you that again. So if I'm at the homepage of WLAC.edu, right, our West homepage,
Mhm.
then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Student Services. I'm going to go under Career Services and Student Employment. You see that where it says Career Center?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to click there. And then what I did was I just scrolled down right here where it says attend workshops and events. So I'm in the Career Center at this point. You see that? Like I'm in the
Mhm.
West LA College website, but I'm within the Career Center component of the website. And then I just scroll down a little bit to where it says attend workshops and events.
Great.
So Professor Penton, even if you wanted to, you could like basically take this direct link and post that in Canvas.
Okay.
So that's so that's another option,
Okay,
just in terms of like resource sharing.
sure, sure. Thank you.
Any other questions or?
Other questions? I highly recommend that all of you take advantage of this. It's free. It's going to help you stand out, you know. So our students are trying to get into the unions in the entertainment industry,
Yes.
and they're connected to they want to be accepted into Hollywood CPR,
Yes.
but you know, this is going to help them with that as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah, exactly. And so like with Year Up and the coaching that you're going to get, that's
Mhm.
exactly what you would start talking to them about week 1.
Okay.
Week 1. Sometimes Year Up has their own connections already within certain industries. Sometimes they're actively building those connections because they're new to a certain industry or they're new to a certain area. So we were doing that a bit with them last year because they were brand new to California.
Oh, okay.
So we obviously have our employer connections, and then of course, like your department and your professors have their connections, but Year Up is like another resource. So we're all working together to help you with this.
That's wonderful. Take advantage
Okay.
of this. This is so great. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Oh my
I really
gosh, my
appreciate it.
pleasure. My pleasure. Come see us anytime, you guys. HLRC 112. So that's the library building on the first floor. We're inside the Learning Center. And so yeah, so come see us at the Career Center. We're happy to help you with any of this stuff, Year Up or otherwise.
All right, wonderful. No more questions?
What was the room number again?
What was it? HLRC 115?
HLRC 112.
112. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
What are your
everyone.
hours?
So the hours are Monday through Thursday in person. 10 to 2 is walk-ins, but we're actually open more like 9 to 3, but those extended hours are by appointment only. So, you know, the first thing to do is just to either walk in or call us, because then most likely we will schedule an appointment with you. If you walk in, we can, you know, help you with some basic things, but it's more like a 10 or 15 minute like quick question. But then we'll help you make an appointment. And then the hours are the same on Fridays as well, but they're just virtual only. So it would
Sounds
just be
good.
phone or Zoom. Yeah.
Oh, do you have a phone number for
Yeah.
Career Center?
Yeah. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat as well. So it's
Great.
310-287-4562. So all of that should be in the chat now. So you've got my email, the Career Center phone, the Career Center location, the direct link to the Career Center events, and then the Year Up interest form link.
Wonderful. You know what, Danielle, this is so helpful. I also teach directed study, and those students are really trying to get their hours so that they can submit an e-portfolio to Hollywood CPR. So I think we should have a Zoom meeting, and
Yes.
I should invite them to the Zoom meeting. The problem with that class is that it is an online class. So
Yeah.
Zoom meetings are optional, so I can't tell them it's mandatory. So
Right.
I'm hoping more than 3 students show up.
Right. Okay.
I will, let's figure out a way that you can tell them as well. And the
Yeah,
only problem
definitely.
is, yeah, the dates are the 6th and the 7th, so.
Well, what you could do is you could take this recording for now and you could send it to them.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh,
That's
good
what
idea.
yeah, I would do that for
Okay.
starters, and then at least they'll get the information about Europe right away and timely. And then we can schedule a time to, come and do a general presentation about the Career Center and the general, all the other kind of resources that I was just sort of sharing with everyone as well anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then because they're in, directed study, that's all going to be really relevant to them.
Extremely. And the
Yeah,
problem is, if they don't have good interviewing skills or good, communication skills, they're not going to get the job. So they need to know that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And, if for any reason Europe doesn't work for some of them, again, those are workshops and those are skills that we at the Career Center also support anyway. We're not only supporting them through the Europe students. So,
Right.
so they can have an appointment one-on-one to talk about that, or they might come to our next interviewing skills workshop. There's other ways. We just want to make sure that they have the information. That's the main thing. I hate
Yeah.
finding
Okay.
out that students learn about things after the fact and then they missed out. Like
Right.
I'm just trying to prevent that as much as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, if the Career Center could start making more entertainment industry connections, that could really help our students. So,
Yes, yes. We are working our little tails off. I'll say that.
okay,
We're a
that's good to know,
we're a
everyone.
tiny team, but yeah, especially if we know that there's like a very specific kind of either position or a very specific, studio or employer or something that students are wanting, we're making very targeted like reach outs, I'll say, almost like cold calls. Like we are doing that as well in terms of just like who we think students might want to meet. But when students come and say, hey, I'm really interested in such and such, it gives us like some direction. And then we often are reaching out to employers that way too.
Did you hear that, everyone? This is really great stuff because,
Yeah.
Hollywood CPR can't take everybody all at once. So this could
No.
be another pathway for you to get an amazing job doing exactly what we're learning right now.
And
Thank
that's our
you for your
goal.
support. That's great.
Yeah, that's our
Yeah.
goal. We want like all students in whatever pathway that they're on to get internship and job opportunities in what they're studying, right? We know you can all get jobs, but jobs are not careers. Jobs are jobs. They're important. They pay bills.
Yeah.
But we would much rather you be getting paid for what you love and doing what you're learning. So we're really trying to help in all the ways that we can. And we have a very supportive dean who's doing that as well and working very closely with employers around apprenticeships. Our team is working closely around internships and jobs. So, things are growing
Who's your
pretty
dean?
quickly. Dean Tiffany Miller.
Oh, okay, great, great. She's been great.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's phenomenal. Yeah.
So just to let you know, Tiffany Miller is the one who is getting the whole reason I was able to go to Amazon Studios is because of Tiffany Miller. So
There
that's
you go.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
You and I need to talk more. Like we need to
We
go,
do.
yeah,
We're gonna go get
see what we
coffee.
can
We've been
do. Yeah.
trying.
I know we've been trying. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I really want to help these students in more ways than we are at this point.
Yes.
And virtual production is a career pathway that Hollywood CPR isn't really necessarily working on as much as they could be yet.
Right.
And that's what I'm teaching right now. And that's the direction that Hollywood is going.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So yeah, so let's see what we can come up with for them.
Yeah, definitely. And if the Career Center is also partnering very closely with the Climate Center. So if any of you students are also very concerned about climate change, sustainability, environmental justice, and maybe how that interfaces with Hollywood and Hollywood production and that sort of
Sure.
thing. We also, our director of the Climate Center is also working around workforce development and internship opportunities. So I always say there's no bad questions. If you think something's of interest to you and that something should exist, it maybe can. And if it doesn't, we might be able to create it. That's literally what we're doing right now with local employers. So yeah, so my last 2 cents would be just, speak up. So if you have ideas, share them with your professor. If you have questions, come see us. This is how things are happening. Our students have phenomenal ideas all the time.
That's
All
great.
the time. And I'm constantly blown away by you guys. So we're here for you. We wouldn't exist otherwise.
That is so great. All right, any other questions? Okay, well, thank you so much,
My
Danielle.
pleasure. Nice to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you too.
See you on campus.